Coffee is an important commodity, accounting for trade worth 16.5 billion US dollars in 2010, a year during which 5.8 million tons of coffee were shipped. African countries export 10 million bags of coffee beans a year, but growers get only 7% of the end profit of processed coffee. While in Latin America, growers have succeeded in increasing the benefits to growers of the coffee trade, Africa has yet to expand its hold on the industry. Scott R. Pearson and Ronald K. Meyer proved through research that Eastern African growers are efficient compared to other coffee-growing nations. However, the treatment of growers must be changed in order for African farmers to reap the benefits of their international competitive advantage.
Following oil, coffee is the world's second most highly traded good. Yet, in recent years, the price of coffee has dropped to less than 50 cents per pound. Despite the drop in cost, retail coffee prices remain high, which means the coffee retailers are becoming rich at the expense of the coffee growers.
According to Oxfam, the 26 cents that a raw coffee bean sells for is divided between the farmer, middlemen, and transporters. To better compensate farmers and ensure their livelihood, fair trade organizations encourage coffee sellers to purchase fair trade certified coffee. This begs the question, what is fair trade, and is it the best solution for African growers?
The fair trade system was enacted in 1997 to protect commodity growers of cocoa, sugar, and coffee by ensuring that they receive a fair price for their products.
Behind every fair trade certified label is a rigorous certification process, which means you can feel confident knowing you're living your values with each purchase.
But as the Starbucks on every corner proves, the market has changed, transforming this once humble eye-opener into a specialty item like wine.
Fair trade ensures that the people who grow the products we enjoy every day, such as coffee, cocoa, sugar, and tea, among a large list of other things, are compensated fairly while helping them move towards economic self-sufficiency and stability.
Perhaps the U.S.'s biggest coffee chain, Starbucks claims their goal is to ensure 100% of their coffee is ethically sourced under the Coffee and Farmer Equity Practices. However, even companies who promote fair trade coffee, like Starbucks, spend very little on their raw materials. As a result, many claim that fair trade does not efficiently solve the problem of better farmer compensation.
The fair trade really only open up the supply chain, but they don't add any value to it.
We don't have that voice. Everything is decided there. The external inspectors comes as a policeman here. Doesn't want any negotiation. Say these are the rules. Rule 1, rule 2, rule 3. Our voices are not heard in fair trade.
We were interested to see how many Americans actually know about fair trade coffee, so we took to the streets to find out what people know and how much they care.
Do you have any idea about free trade coffee?
Yeah, I pretty much exclusively consume non-fair trade coffee. That's just what's around me. It's what's easier to access. It's, I think, cheaper in most cases, but it's just the ease of access.
I mean, the free trade thing is pretty cool because like it's more power to the growers, or they get more profit. So like, yeah, I mean, I'm always down to support local growers as well as the people who are really kind of doing the work. So it would be cool to be able to get that in markets and stuff.
As a consumer, I guess you can educate your friends, the people around you, try to convince them to consume fair trade products as well, because there's in like trying to establish some sort of income inequality, people have to
Another solution to the inequality facing African farmers is focusing on specialty beans for which consumers will pay a premium. Some of Africa's comparative advantage lies in the quality of their bean. Many claim that selling specialty coffee beans will shield growers from low international prices.
The better the beans, the higher the price, which means instead of relying on fair trade pricing protections, farmers could make more money by growing better beans and getting them certified as specialty coffee beans.
Jacques H. Trinikins writes in his article, Value Chains in Developing Countries, a Framework for Analysis, that unequal power relationships keep high value adding components in Western countries. Furthermore, although there is increased room for specialization in coffee, the actual cost of the bean represents a very small portion of the price of the finished product. The remainder of the value, Trinikins says, is in the ambience and brand. Adding these to African beans is the best strategy to gain market share.
Instead of making slightly more money producing specialty beans, Africans can take hold of the entire value chain that has long undermined their success.
I think as Africans, we need to begin to look at ourselves as a solution to some of these problems of systemic poverty and underdevelopment. We have blessed soils. You guys have a commodity which is of great value. We have the skills and the capability to partner with you so we can add value to that commodity, pay you a premium price. We can also add value to your knowledge. We can help train you, give you agronomy training, best practices. We can set up savings and credit co-ops, and we can really work together and begin to own the value chain, which has historically been controlled outside the producer countries. We traditionally have exported raw coffee, and it's processed in the consuming countries in the West. We needed to change that, and through trade, we could bring prosperity to our farmers and their communities.
So it's very much about empowerment?
Yes, about empowerment, and it's also about ownership. It's about owning the value chain.
When Rugasira entered the coffee industry, he introduced new methods and equipment that liberated growers from the normal system of selling raw beans cheaply to traders. Instead, he paid 60 cents more a pound for a product that he could roast and sell. Because of this model, the farmer's income rose. The product entered the British and American markets and began turning a profit in 2012.
Daniel Bergner of the New York Times offers that the fact that brands like Good African Coffee exist at all is a victory. While it may grow gradually, Good African Coffee already proves to the world that African enterprises can coexist on the global stage.